What's up, you guys? I'm Christina Sheree. If you're new to my channel, hey. And if you're returning, it's always good to see you. You know what, guys? Today I just really wanted to do something neutral and kind of goldenish-y, sort of. Basically, I pulled out a palette that I got at the beginning of quarantine, right when everything went shut down, and forgot about it. So I'm playing with the Rust palette today, and if you're curious to see how I got this look, what I think about this palette, please keep on watching. We're gonna jump to the video. You guys, so I got this palette right when COVID hit and everything kind of went on lockdown. So I got the palette, life happened, and kind of forgot about it. But I was going through all my stuff and I'm like, you know what? That's right, there is that palette. It's the Rust palette from Melt. So this one here, put it in frame. It's so beautiful. Now this palette actually came from their #1 selling stack. It's the Rust stack. They used to have these little bitty circular stacks with shadow. They still have a couple on the site left. But anyway, so Rust was this neutral stack. And what they've done is they've just added 5 new colors to it and made it a palette. So I'm really excited to try this out today. It's a first impression for me just because I haven't pulled it out, but it's not necessarily a new palette. New to me though. So we're gonna dive into this one. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do today. I kind of usually go towards the darker brown smoky, but they have such really pretty. I'll actually put picture of the palette on screen as I go through this, but I'm thinking of trying something different, kind of the rubbish tarnish area. So I'm gonna do that. My lids are primed. I use my Fenty primer. I didn't set it because I really want to see how vibrant I can get these colors without looking like headlights. So all that to say, we're gonna dive into this right now. Starting with my Morphe M505, this blender brush, I'm going into the color Rubbish, and I'm gonna do this as a light wash. I really want to see how this shadow performs. Notoriously, Melt's stacks perform a lot better than their palettes. Their palettes are good, but when you have the stack just, I don't know what it is. I don't know why that is, but it's just can be different. Anyway, so I'm taking this color Rubbish, and I'm going to start with just a light wash in the crease and transition area, and just use it as a base. Rubbish is so close to my skin tone, it just ended up setting the setting the primer, so I can't see it. Anyways, so I'm actually going to go into the color Erode, the same brush, not taking any of the shadow off, and I'm going to place this in my transition area and just start to build this color up and warm up this area. Now taking my Dominique Cosmetics crease blur brush, so this one here, I'm going into the color Rust, and I'm going to place this color in my crease, starting in the corner. I like to just pack it on first, and then I'm going to build it up. Now I'm doing a lot of blending in between takes and building it up, which would be super boring for you guys, but I don't want this look to be too intense, but I definitely want you to see the gradients and the colors, so that is my goal. I'm placing it again in the crease, packing it where I want the majority of the color, and then once I have the saturation I want, I'm going to go ahead and blend it up and across. Alright, using my finger, I'm going into the color Tarnish, and I'm going to place this all over the lid, all the way from the inner corner to the out. And I actually really start low first to build up that color and then bring it up, so then you don't get as much shimmer in your crease after the fact. With Tarnish on the lid, I'm picking back up the crease blur brush that we used for Rust and just going to quickly just kind of blend that shimmer into the crease area, just to diffuse it a little bit. Yeah, like that. All right, next I'm picking up my Morphe E36, this really tiny brush. I'm going into the color Mar, and I'm gonna place this, just go ahead and stamp it on the outer V and the outer third of the lid. So like that. And then bring it up slightly into your crease. So just pack it on first, and then you're gonna go ahead and just lightly blend it out. This is just to give this corner a little bit more depth. Okay, with my finger I'm going into the color Redox, and I was about to tap it off. Oh Lord. And putting this, let me lean closer, on the outer third, but we're tapping it over the lid color and over Mar, which we just put in the corner. You lightly tap them to blend them, like that. And I like to just take the same crease brush again and go back in and make sure that those colors are blended in the crease as well. Same crease blur brush from Dominique Cosmetics, going back into the color Mar. I've done it on this side, but I'm actually going to show you here. I want to deepen up this crease even more now that the shimmer's on there. So I'm just going to lightly go in my crease area and blend upwards. And bring it a little bit further in. It's about right there. Taking my finger, I'm going into the color Ravage, which is a brown shimmer. I'm going to go ahead and place that just in the outer V on both sides. Just to give it a little bit. I like to play with my shimmers. So that's what we did. I switched the color, the previous color, off of this one, but picking up my Morphe E36 again, going into the color Rust, and placing this all along the lower lash line. So from all the way from the inner. And I actually like to bring mine down a bit far, so to about like right there. Sorry, looking at the monitor. Like about right there. And wrap it around to the top. So now with my Sigma E30, this pencil brush, I'm going back into the color Redox. And I'm just going to place it on my lower lash without Fix Plusing it first. See if it needs to be intensified or not. No, I like that a lot. It's really, yeah, I like that a lot. So we're going to go from the inner corner, bring it down kind of far, all the way across. And then make sure you blend that shimmer into the other color. So same brush that had Rust. Just go ahead and diffuse those edges. The edges a little bit. Like that. I actually used that color and wrapped it around to my inner corner as well. Same brush that had Rust on it to just kind of blur the edges a little bit. Now this palette really doesn't have, to me, an inner corner highlight or really a brow bone, but I'm going to use Classic, just a little bit of it, on my JH42 brush, Jaclyn Hill Morphe, and just give, oh that's a lot. Just wanted to give it a little light. Gave it too much, but that's okay. You can always use your finger and kind of fix that. Two of my favorite melt pencils, brown ones, are the Columbia and Lamia, but today I'm going to use Columbia. And I'm going to put this all in my waterline. Columbia is just a warmer brown. Lamia is more of an espresso. This is a nice chocolate brown. So taking it all the way across. And then I like to focus from the middle of your pupil right there to the outer and bring that down a little bit more. Smoke it out. Just kind of really get all up in those eyelashes. And then take a small flat shader brush. So for me, I'm using the Morphe E35. And go ahead and actually smudge that so the lines aren't so harsh. So I want just a tad bit more sparkle in the inner corner now. So same pencil brush, Red X the color. This time I'm going to wet it with a little bit of Fix Plus and focus this on just the inner portion to about mid-eye, like so. And then pick back up small little blender brush, go back into the color Rust, and just diffuse it just a little bit. So like that. So I want to give it a little bit more kind of intensity on the outer corner. So I'm picking up just a black pencil. This is my Melt, I think it's 1987. What is it called? Yeah, 1987, just a black pencil. And for this, I'm just going to focus on the outer third in the waterline. Okay, so to finish the upper portion, same pencil, the Columbia one. Just gonna go ahead and really just focus this color on the outer third of the eye. I like to kind of push it up a little bit. So you're gonna blend it. And don't worry if it's perfect. You're gonna take a smudger brush and smudge it. So it really does not need to be perfect. At least for me it doesn't. And all this is doing really is just adding a little bit of smoke to the outer edge of your eye, like that. Alright, so I'm gonna finish everything off camera, just tightline underneath, put some mascara on, and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so I'm back. I really wanted to do an inner corner highlight, and I didn't see it in the palette, so I just pulled out my Marc Jacobs. What is this one called? Oh My Gold. It's part of their new collection. This one here. And I just use this as an inner corner highlight. I thought it just needed something. So for my lips, I use my, I've been loving this combination. I'm dropping it everywhere. So this combination I've been using a lot lately. It's Patrick Ta. You would think I'd know it since I've been using it a lot, right? Patrick Ta She's Bold lip liner, so this one here. And then Natasha Denona Lipophoria, the color Caramel all over my lips. And then Tan Nude just in the center to give it a little bit of a pop. Yeah, so I know this palette has been out for a minute. Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm all over the place. Did my lashes, and I did do a wing. I wasn't intending on it, but sometimes the wings just kind of run away with you. So, did a little wing there. But yeah, that's all I did. You know, I know this palette is not new. It's new to me. I really love the stacks. The palette is actually okay. I did a different look than I would have been able to do with the stacks, so I'm loving that. But yeah, so if you don't have the stacks, I know this is not a review again, but if you don't have the stacks, you can't go wrong with the palette. I mean, it is a good palette. I like it. Well, you guys, I hope you like this look. Please go ahead and leave a comment below. Do you have the palette? Do you like the stacks better than the palette? You know, all that good stuff. And while you're there, why don't you go ahead and click that notification bell, the subscribe button, and like the video. I'm doing it like a pig in my nose. Like the video while you're there. Yeah, it just helps me build my channel, and I love to communicate with you guys. So, last thing, my Instagram. I love Instagram to be creative. So, head on over there. I'm popping it up on the screen. Head on over there. You'll see more pictures of the looks that I do videos for, and just things that I'm really interested in. It's my favorite creative place aside from YouTube. Well, you guys, thank you so much for giving me your time, whatever time it is, morning, noon, or night. I really do appreciate you giving me some of it. Some of it. Some of it. Have a good day, you guys. Bye.